Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Monday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your weekly WWE Monday Night Raw Event Center report. And now here is the man to give you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1605 of the show. What's going on? August 13th, 2024, 12:56 p.m., almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon, this lovely Tuesday afternoon. Welcome once again to yet another episode. I was unable to. I usually try to make it when I do my wrestling event centers, try to do it the show after, and I was unable to do it last night because I was able to go on the Chillin' with Jordy stream, and we had lots to talk about there, and I was watching Raw at the same time, and I know there was a big, humongous scandal that Dan and his wife discussed about back in the 80s, and possibly further back than that, and and it is a shame that some stuff like this happens back then, and it's even tougher when the person who has caused all this is no longer with us. So, but hey, word needs to get out. Word needs to reach out, and I am hoping that people will learn from the past. There's a history that goes, if people will refuse to learn from their history, they're doomed to repeat it. So, people say, "Oh, we don't want to dive in the past," or something. Sometimes you learn a lesson from it. Like I said, sometimes I talk about things in my past because I want people to learn from my mistakes. I learn from my mistakes, and that's very, very important. Learning from your mistakes is very, very important. That way, a similar situation arises again, you be mentally prepared, and that's very important. Anyways, speaking of mistakes and things happening, Monday Night Raw last night. The big mistake that Dominic Mysterio has made was betray Rhea Ripley. As Rhea Ripley kicks off Raw, addresses both Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan, and there was a point where, Dominic, you stabbed me in the back, but here's something you've probably heard before. It wasn't in deep enough. I'm like, oh, and then both Morgan and Mysterio interrupt Ripley, and she said, well, she helped me do something that you weren't able to do, is help me beat my deadbeat dad. I'm like, oh, great. She let me get tendies and play video games. I don't get to do any of that with you. I was like, okay. And so, as they were running their mouth, Rhea Ripley's talking, and then Damian Priest stood right behind him. I'm like, Dominic, you better turn around. You're not going to like the view. And you know what? Dominic and Priest were brawling, and then when Liv Morgan jumped on him, here comes Rhea Ripley. And they were brawling in like the concession stands, and they're near the bar and everything. I was like, oh, that's that'd be crazy. Then during the match, Carlito during the brawl, Carlito gets involved, and then it led to the matchup between Damian Priest and Carlito. And Damian Priest won the match, but J.D. McDonough and Finn Balor got involved, along with Dom. And then Rhea Ripley evens things up, and then as Rhea Ripley was about to hit Dominic Mysterio with the Riptide, Liv Morgan bails him out. Boy, what a real man Dominic Mysterio is. Not dork. Bo Dallas is addressing the Wyatt Six in-ring debut. It seems like he once again is trying to struggle between him and Uncle Howdy, but he knows and understands they gotta do better. So, even though they got the win, New Day was hyping up for Odyssey Jones' debut, but you see, Xavier Woods not feeling. I don't know why he's not feeling it. I don't know what is going on. Maybe Kofi Kingston's trying to take over. I don't know. All I know is Xavier Woods is feeling a little distant. Maybe the New Day is not the same that he envisioned back in 2014. I totally remember when Kofi Kingston and Big E. And Kofi Kingston and Big E was with Kofi, hanging out with Kofi Kingston. And I remember, the promo that Xavier Woods cut. He was serious. It was a serious thing back in the day. Maybe he realized all along the New Day wasn't as he envisioned it to be. If you check it out, I want to see if you guys can find that promo in the New Day with Xavier when they first almost started forming. And watch Xavier Woods and his tone. When the original promo happened 10 years ago, and he said we'd go out and take. We're not going to shake babies and glad hand people. We go out and take what we want. But and at first, that would have been the issue. That would have been the thing. That would have been the goal. Take all the championships. They have won all the titles. But, they have won all the titles. But, come on. Oh, and so they have totally won the titles. They won the tag team titles, and both men, both Xavier, both Kofi Kingston and Big E won the Intercontinental title. Kofi Kingston won the United States title. He became WWE champion. Big E became WWE champion. It seems like Xavier Woods has only accomplished two things as being a tag team champion, King of the Ring. Maybe that's what's irking him a little bit. Who knows for sure what is going to happen. And Karrion Kross, and the Final Testament came out, saying, hey, we're already working. Kofi got Odyssey Jones to replace Big E and everything else. And, Xavier Woods, he said, you try to do whatever it takes to break up the New Day. And he says, hey, how about this 6-man tag match next week? So it'll be the New Day and Odyssey Jones versus the Final Testament. And Drew McIntyre talks to Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce says CM Punk's stuck in traffic, don't know where he is. He says, I'm not concerned about CM Punk. I'm over him. And he's complaining about why Randy Orton gets a shot at the World Heavyweight title, crying about that. And Adam Pearce goes, you saw what happened and all that. So the Texas Tornado tag, that was coming to Alpha Academy. There's Otis, Kara Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree in their corner against American Made. That will be the Creed brothers with Chad Gable. So, but at ringside, the NXT North American champion Oba Femi, who's issuing an open challenge for the North American title, somehow was confronting Otis. Could Otis be the man? And could Otis be the guy to challenge Oba Femi? So confronts Otis. Otis is like, kiss my rear end and all that. And as Maxine Dupree was tending to Alfred, here comes Ivy now. She attacked Maxine Dupree. It seems like Ivy Now's joined American Made, and it cost them the match. It was American Made won the matchup. If I were Otis, after the confrontation with Oba Femi, I would take up on the man's challenge. And Otis is probably going to say, listen, the reason why I'm fighting you, I'm not in a good mood. I need to take it out on somebody. I might as well take it out on you. That's what Otis should say, and that's what Otis should do. I say Otis accepts the challenge tonight, and hopefully Otis teaches Oba Femi a lesson. Anyways, Jackie Redmond had a sit-down interview with Pete Dunne asking him the hard question, like, why did you turn against Sheamus? And Pete Dunne saying he's been frustrated with Sheamus for quite a long time. And then Pierce confronts Bronson Reed after about last week, and he says, you better give me some competition, or else things like this is going to continue on. Adam Pierce is like, ridiculous. Io Sky and Kairi Sane addressing Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Zoe Stark. They said that they said the WWE universe, everybody has forgotten who we are. We got to remind them. Yes, we are cut in half right now with Asuka out and Dakota Kai. So what you did to Dakota Kai will make you pay for it tenfold. Seeing Kairi Sane and Io Sky have now the opportunity to represent Damage Control and teaming up. A lot of fans want to see these two young ladies team up. I love the idea. I see. They've been best friends, and they teamed up with each other before in NXT back in the day, and now they're teaming up on the main roster. They have a huge opportunity ahead of them. Meanwhile, Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Zoe Stark. I'm going to say Tony Stark. I'm like Iron Man all of a sudden. I have Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection on the brain here. Zoe Stark, they have now called, they responded to Damage Control saying they're going to beat them, they're going to run Monday Night Raw, but they now call themselves the Pure Fusion Collective. That's their new stable name, the PFC, as I like to call them. And then Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the tag team champs, were watching the match at ringside between Damage Control and the Pure Fusion Collective. And when Io Sky went to go at the pinfall after her over the moonsault, Isla Dawn attacked her, and technically that would give Damage Control the victory via disqualification, but then having Alba Fire and Isla Dawn take both teams out, and it seems to me where we're standing right now. By the way, Dakota Kai will be out 8 to 10 weeks due to a torn meniscus. And before that matchup, though, WWE legendary diva Candice Michelle was at the arena. And I think she's cheering on Damage Control. And I forgot her husband is Japanese. So she probably has a soft spot in her heart for Damage Control. In this case, Io Sky and Kairi Sane. I ain't got to give Candice Michelle. She knows great talent when she sees it. Nice job, Candice. And then R-Truth was, like I said, the women's tag champs and Sonya Deville got involved, and the women's tag champs cleared house, basically. That leads into a triple threat match for the women's tag team titles next week, as Alba Fire and Isla Dawn will defend against the Pure Fusion Collective and Damage Control in the persona of Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Randy Orton addresses the Austin crowd about Gunther, but before then, R-Truth was talking to The Miz. He said, "Hey, listen, I got you a title shot. Braun Breaker, but he doesn't. This guy's not fighting Sami Zayn." And there was a graphic of The Miz going against Bronson Reed, and I'm like, R-Truth, what are you doing, bro? You just walked The Miz right into the lion's den on that one. And it was up, and then Randy Orton, you're the two-time Grand Slam champion. You're The Miz. You're awesome. Show him why. Miz is like, okay, you get an encouragement from Randy Orton, you get motivated. Orton addresses the Austin crowd about Gunther. Gunther interrupts him. And then Gunther's talking trash to Orton. McIntyre interrupts both. CM Punk blindsides him from behind. And they're fighting away. While Randy Orton hits the RKO on Gunther. So there's that. Jackie Redmond interviews Sheamus, and then Ludwig Kaiser about the response, what he had to say about what Pete Dunne said to him. Ludwig Kaiser interrupts Sheamus, and then Pete Dunne attacks him. If you want a new Imperium, Pete Dunne, Ludwig Kaiser, and Gunther. Now, there's your... If Ludwig Kaiser and Pete Dunne align themselves against Sheamus, I suspect there's a new and improved Imperium. Giovanni Vinci out, Pete Dunne in. That's the way I see it. And, Pete Dunne attacked him with a shillelagh. Meanwhile, Captain Kelly interviews CM Punk about Drew McIntyre. So there's that. Mark Henry and his son Jacob, who recently signed with the WWE, in attendance, obviously in Austin, Texas. So then The Miz went one-on-one with Bronson Reed. Didn't fare for a while for the Awesome One, as Bronson Reed did pin The Miz, but then he attacked The Miz, and then R-Truth got him out of the way, and he got hit with a tsunami 4 times. A lot of people are ticked off about it. I don't blame him. I'm ticked off. The guy follows me on X. Ron Killings, a.k.a. R-Truth. Really fun guy. And Bronson Reed takes him out. Adam Pearce was trying to stop him. The referee's trying to stop him. No avail. And like I said last night on Chilling with Doherty, somebody needs to clip him off about his knee, or I would fill a glass pitcher full of water, freeze it on ice, come back out, clobber him in the head with it. That's how you're going to stop a man like Bronson Reed. And I was going, look, he better not be going after Mark Henry, because Mark Henry would have wasted him. But he needs, if you want competition, I say sick Braun Strowman on Bronson Reed. Get those two, the Battle of the Bronze, Bronson and Braun Strowman. Get them going. Just get it on. Omos, if he's not doing anything, try to get him Try to get Omos to stop him. Somebody needs to stop Bronson Reed. He's out of control, man. The man's out. He's out of control, Gilman. He's out of control. Gotta bust that in there for Kevin Henry. I hope he's watching. He's out of control, Gilman. He's out of control. Anyways, Jey Uso is hyping up Sami Zayn for his 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental title. And so he said, hey, and then we'll go after the tag belts. Judgment Day was addressing Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. In fact, at Bash in Berlin, there'll be a mixed tag match. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus Dominic Mysterio and the Women's World Champ, Liv Morgan. Heck of a matchup that's going to be. Braun Breaker, before he comes out for his title match, addresses Sami Zayn. And look, Braun Breaker says he wants to get that, keep that Intercontinental title around his waist for a long time. Title match happened. Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn. What a battle this was. Sami Zayn picked up the first victory. Then we go to the second fall. And the second and third falls went to Braun Breaker. I gotta tell you, it is amazing. So like I said, the sad part is seeing R-Truth get attacked with tsunamis by Mr. Bronson Reed. And it was a very sad thing. Sad situation, sad deal. Let me tell you something, man. But Bronson Reed's going to pay. If I were The Miz, I'd be thanking R-Truth right now for preventing Bronson Reed to do more damage on The Miz than R-Truth just basically sacrificed himself for The Miz. And hope R-Truth gets better, man. Because I'll tell you one thing, if I were R-Truth, I would be full of P&V going after Bronson Reed. So, that's all the time we have on this show, episode 1605 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Thank you for tuning in. So, up next, the Trebek Tuesday 101, as you know, High Rollers, in full effect, y'all. We're going to do this, and so I will see you later. Until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.